Nasza Ewa próbuje. No, go again, Ewciu, go. Tam jest Mark. Elizabeth odgarnia śnieg. To jest Marki. Marek poprawia sobie buty. Elizabeth odgarnia śnieg. Ewa próbuje. Ewciu, come on, no. No Ewciu, do taty tutaj bardziej. Tutaj, Ewciu. Ewciu, tutaj jedź, to tata będzie widział ciebie, no. No, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. W tą stronę. W tą stronę. Musisz uważać, bo nogę złamiesz. Okej, Ewciu, teraz Ewa, jedź tak i do taty tutaj. No tak jak tata ci mówił, no. Nice, nice, okej. Turn that.
I like doing that.
Co Marek powiesz? Marek, to jest 16 stycznia 1988 rok. Piękny dzień, temperatura prawdopodobnie 32-33. Elizabeth, co ty powiesz?
Nic.
Jak to nic? To jest zaraz niedaleko od domu, gdzie mieszkamy. W lesie, spokojnie. Mały staw, tak.
I like ice skating. It's fun.
Ewcia teraz próbuje. O, Ewcia jedzie, Ewcia. O. Co się stało, Ewciu? Okej. No, próbuj, no.
Oh, sorry. Here I come.
Marek, wiesz.
Be careful. It's a man.
Oh, Marky. What's happened, Mark?
Mark, don't go that fast. I think she's the person who knows how to skate better than everyone in the whole world.
I know. Who said that? You. Dork. I understand it, one word for a customer is a fish. Is that right? You call someone who's a fish a sucker?
Krysia, weź głośno jeszcze.
Well, behind the scenes, there's these.
Tu masz ten kontrol.
When you're out in front to the press, to the public, it's you call them customers, you call the salesmen customer reps.
What do you call them behind the scenes? Who are they?
Suckers. That's what,
Every one of them is a sucker.
Well, like I used to do that. I'd go up behind salesmen just to, to kid with them and yell into the phone, "Oh, you got another sucker on the line."
Who is an easier sale, a man or a woman?
A man.
Why?
Well, because there's a lot of ego there, and a man will want to believe that he's going to pick the market, that he's going to be right. And even there's a comeback, like if a man will even say, "Well, I'm going to check with my wife before I buy this." Well, our salesman says, "Well, I tell you what, I'll check with my wife if I can sell it to you." And right away, his male ego, "Okay, I'll write you a check."
What happens if you get a woman on the phone first?
Well, we had specific salespeople that handled women.
Women?
Yeah, and we also had a lot of women salesmen.
On jest
But,
skuty w kajdankach.
they could handle anybody. I found really that women are better
Jest
phone
16
salesmen over the long period where
stycznia
the men
na
salesmen
programie
are hot
PBS o
and cold.
3
They'll make a
godzinie
lot of money,
o investment.
and then they'll
10
go out and
bilionów
party
dolarów
for a
rocznie,
while,
tak
whereas
salesmeni
the women salesmen
wynudzają z ludzi.
stick to it.
Why do you think you succeeded with investors?
Well, my forte, as I say, is number one, putting the salesmen together, and then I have a very pronounced Southern accent when I get up in front of a crowd like this to give a sales pitch. And it just turned out that the Southern accent did it. People trust you if you got a Southern accent.
Don't you feel guilty at all? I mean, don't you have a twinge of conscience about all this? I mean, the DA tells me that you took $200 million. I think your estimate is somewhat higher than that.
Well, I had a lot of expenses too, but
I'm supposed to feel sorry for you because you've had expenses?
no, as I say, I mean, I believed that those people would lose their, if they didn't lose it to me, they would lose it anyway. And the fact of the matter is, most of the people that get in at the beginning of the deals in the first year or 18 months of our brokerage house made it. We paid out over $19 million of profit. But of course, then those people reinvested, and everyone you pay a profit to brings another person or two or three in.
And then they lose their money in the end.
Well, there was about 1,200 lucky ones out there that didn't come back in.
Well, the bad guys in the black hats
Słyszysz,
are always
Krysia?
being chased by
1200
the good
lucky one.
guys in the white hats.
Że nie włożyli z
And our next
powrotem.
guest did not put this Harold in jail, but he has locked up many other Harolds. He is an assistant district attorney who prosecutes fraud. For the past 4 years, he's been chief of the economic crime unit in Fort Lauderdale. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one man who will never buy swampland in Florida, Mr. Kent Neal. Thank you for coming. Kent, tell me, you've heard Harold talking. Does he sound like a typical con artist? Is there a typical con artist? Do they wear red ties so we'll know?
Jane, I don't think there's a typical con artist. They come in all shapes and sizes, ages, men and women, as Harold mentioned. They have one thing in common, though. They're all trying to talk you out of your money. And you're not going to get the opportunity to meet them like we've got a chance to meet Harold today. It's going to be a faceless voice over the phone. And they're good.
I want to explain to you, just for a minute, how con artists find you, how they get your names, how they happen to call you up. And I have a few things to show you, help you find. First, some of them place ads in very legitimate newspapers. Here is the Wall Street Journal. This one is an ad for Kruger Rams, gold coins. Absolutely wonderful looking ad, one little hitch. The company was a fraud. There's nothing that you could see in that ad that would make you realize it. Now here's another way they get you. Magazines. I've got a Playboy for you. The Playboy ad says, And I'm going to read it to you because it's just so charming and sentimental. It says, on the first Christmas, the 3 wise men gave the Christ child the ultimate gift,
Słuchasz, Krysia?
gold. And here is that beautiful and sentimental ad right here, also from a company that is a total fraud. Now, Kent has brought some terrific things that I want you to see from his collection of frauds.
Jane, the same company whose ad you just showed us, International Gold Bullion Exchange, which we prosecuted in 1983, did deliver the gift of gold. In fact, I have one of the gold bars here. As you can maybe not tell, it's 24 karat wood. When we went to the vaults, or in fact when anybody wanted to go to the vaults to see if their metal was in fact being stored as IGBE said it was, this is what they see, and they didn't get too close a look. Also in the vaults we found
Słyszysz?
bags of Krugerrands, or silver coins if you would, and as you can see, this one is not too substantial. This is in fact what IGB had in their vaults, and the only thing anybody did get when they bought from IGBE, and I have one of the certificates here, is a piece of paper. For your money, you got a certificate saying that you were the owner of so many ounces of gold or so many Krugerrands. And this was all you ever got.
You also, here's another place where you get the sucker lists, and these are the postcards that you get in the mail, things that I read you at the beginning. They all say on it, inquiries without phone numbers cannot be processed. And that's how they get your phone number. This is how the salesmen call. And of course, once your name is on a sucker list, it gets passed to different salesmen and different companies. Now, there's another way that you can be caught with something, and these are on some of these late-night cable television shows. You see lots of investment shows there. Some of them are okay, some of them are not. Many people think that the TV stations screen these programs for honesty and truthfulness. They do not. Anybody can buy time on those programs and they can say what they want. In fact, when we were working on this show, the authorities showed us 2 programs that had as guests touting stocks and precious metals, people who were convicted felons. Now, there are some other companies, they hire well-known celebrities as spokesmen. And I have here an ad that Mike Douglas did for a cellular phone company. It was called American National Cellular. We apologize for the poor quality of this tape, but it's the best one we could get.
Fortune magazine says in an August 1984 issue, cellular is a business in which it will be possible and perhaps easy to get rich quick. The problem is not making the money. The problem is getting the license. And that is where American National Cellular can help you, the individual, to stand side by side with the corporate giants.
American National Cellular was shut down by the Federal Trade Commission. Can't tell me, what are the most common kinds of investment frauds?
Precious metals has perennially been one of the big ones. Also, investment-grade gems, diamonds, rubies, sapphires, coins, Morgan silver dollars have been a popular item in the boiler rooms. Art, collectible art, oil and gas leases, partnerships, business opportunities. A lot of these incorporate a factor which we call the Ponzi factor. Many times initially, early investors in these schemes will get a return.
As they did in Harold's schemes.
And then they will be used, in fact, to sing, and they call them singers in the business, to sing the praises of the company to new prospective investors who will get nothing.
We have another tape to show you. This one is an actual tape of a boiler room fraud in action. We're going to watch a short clip of a salesman on the telephone who could be talking to you.
You know what, Rudolph? Let's be honest with one another. In a week, the market's probably going to be up higher than it is. You know, I don't have a crystal ball, and I can't guarantee that. But if you're going on vacation, let's do it today. It's only 2,000 ounces. It's not going to hurt you, and I'm going to take care of your account personally. All I'm saying is this, Rudolph, you don't know anything about the metals market. If you wanted to make money, you'll have to listen to my advice. If you don't listen to my advice, chances are you won't make money. Boy, I hammered the out of this guy, didn't I? Hammer, do it. Do it. Do it.
What do you say?
Write a check. Do it now. Oh, he's one of those kind of guys that has to think about it for a few days. He'll do it though. He'll definitely go. You know. Otherwise, I'm gonna hammer him more.
Harold, how did he do?
Well, he didn't make the sale, I noticed.
What would you have told him to do?
Well, first cut his hair.
On the telephone?
No, really, I didn't like to hire younger guys like that. I would hire more of the professional older people who could establish themselves, you know, like I'm the person who's giving the advice, the fatherly advice. You know, say a person, you know, with a little bit more experience that could talk about the investment. That, as I say, there has been an evolution, and now the more of the precious metals and the gems and the bullion are going.
Ja ciebie nagrywam. I za chwilę tylko puszczę z powrotem.
Nagrywaj się z nim.
I co powiesz? Opuściłaś...
Jakieś tam mamusią córeczki. Dwójeczkę. Córeczka z mamusia sobie porozmawia.
Córeczka z mamusią, tak jest. Oddalę wasz
Tak,
trochę.
i co byś chciał wiedzieć?
No, co możecie powiedzieć?
No było nam bardzo miło, najedliśmy się, wypiwszy, popiwszy, pooglądali, pięknie macie, życzę wszystkiego dobrego w tym nowym roku.
Zapraszamy do nas.
Zapraszamy do
No, na
nas.
pewno.
Na rewizję najwyższy czas, żeby Państwo do nas
Wiesz
zawitali.
co, tak myślę sobie, żebyś cebulów zabrał kiedy.
A co tu boss nam powie?
Boss mówi, żebyś cebulów zabrał.
Cebula przyjedzie, to przyjedzie na pół godziny, bo zaraz, o boj, muszę jechać do domu, wypłacać.
Nawet pół godziny to jego przyjmiemy bardzo miło.
Później sobie pojedzie.
Prawda?
Nie będzie lubiał do tego.
No to mamy-
Chyba na drugą niedzielę.
Dorotka to będzie bardzo wyraźnie widać
Tak,
twarz.
co się nie chciał zakryć?
Prawda? Teraz to widać się.
Podciągcie się
Pociąg się po...
dziewczyny. Krysia, chodź tutaj do nas.
Wiecie się dziewczyny,
Krysia,
bo nie
idź
wiecie
tam.
dnia ani
Bo w nowym
godziny.
roku-
Elizabeth. No
Tak.
to... Marki, idź tam trochę na...
A gdzie jest?
Razem?
Gdzie ona jest? Ona tutaj gdzieś
Gdzie
była.
jest Ewusia? Ona gdzieś tam...
Mark.
Tak.
No i co, zaśpiewacie coś? Nie było czasu na pogranie, kolęd
No to
pośpiewanie.
jest wśród nocnej ciszy, bo
No
jeszcze
już nie,
oni
odjeżdżamy teraz.
odjeżdżamy, bo już jest tak późno.
Wypić dasz.
To na pewno.
My tu nic nie pili, jeszcześmy się nie bawili. Gospodarzu nam.
Not yet. Here you are, 12 years old. How tall are you?
4'6".
4 feet 6, weighing.
Around 80 pounds.
Yeah, I know. Just like all ladies, they want. It's probably 82 or 83, something like that.
No?
Now, you know, we had no idea, you know, until just before you came out, that you were going to carry the flame. How did it happen? You said you only heard about it last Monday, but how did it come about?
How did it come about?
I mean, did they have a contest, or you know?
No, not that I know of. Just one time a lady phoned and asked me to have an interview, and I set up the interview with her, and we got together at the time, and we had our interview.
Okay, Florida, here we are. That's February 18 in Jacksonville. We are just lined up for the ferry.
Right.
Pilot, Rani Lembrick, captain. Is Paula, Chris is quite chilly. Yeah. We are waiting for the ferry to go another side. That's funny feeling when the car is staying and the boat is moving. Just sitting in a van, which one is on a ferry. And that's bumping here, bumping there, because we are ready to, you know, they're gonna ready to touch us. Ja, jesteśmy na ferze, która jest gotowa do ucumowania. I to jest bardzo dziwne uczucie, jak się jest w Wenie, który jest na tym dużym platformie przewożącej na bocie, statku, łodzi. I akurat